What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about two different Scream 6 topics. I know they've been covered probably by other people at this point, but I wanted to kind of weigh in. We have the title, potentially, and we also have a very potential gigantic thing that could have happened. Now, that thing we're going to save to the end, and that is, by the way, major spoilers. Again, the P word is going to be used quite often here, potentially. It's going to be massive spoilers, so if you don't want to watch, turn away now. I don't think the title is going to necessarily spoil anything, or the picture, nothing like that. But let's go over the title first, because that's interesting, right? So there's a little bit of a debate of what the actual title is. What some think, and I do think this is honestly just as likely as the other option, is Scream, and then you have the Roman numerals just like I. That's what you could make an argument for that, and you can make an argument because people have said, it looks like there's a 6 kind of stopping and breaking up the actual numbers. Okay, so I will say, if it's that, and we'll go over the other option in a second, but if it is that, I'm okay with it. I don't think it's the most creative thing in the world. I think it still gets pretty confusing. I'm not a fan of this movie being anything even like a sneaky way of it being like Scream 2. I'm not a huge fan of that. But that, again, like at the end of the day, the title is not going to matter all that much. To be flat out honest, and we'll probably say this even for the other option of the movie, right? Fans online are going to call it Scream 6. There's no stopping. I've seen people say that online where it's like, they say like 5 Cream and 6 Cream now, right? And even like Jasmine Savoy and all them were saying. And it's like, honestly, everybody calls it Scream 5. Everybody calls it Scream 6. Respecting radio silence or whatever. I mean, who cares? Ultimately, everybody calls it that. So why are we really wasting time with it being called something else when we all know it's part of the same lineage? Like, I don't know. We can go on forever with that. Obviously, I've talked about it in the past. But again, if it's literally Scream and then I, that's fine. I'm not a huge fan of it. I am a bigger fan, still not a massive fan, but I am a bigger fan of the idea of them both being exclamation marks. I actually like that idea quite a bit. Now, again, this kind of comes from, the 6 blocks it out, but they literally do look like line, dot, line, dot. That's literally what they look like, and then the 6 is what causes those things to happen. By the way, this literally came from Melissa Barrera's husband, who took a picture of the back of the chair thing, which is exactly how we got the title for the Scream 5 or Scream. Now, of course, by the way, maybe I should have said this like 2-3 minutes ago. It could easily be fake, right? This doesn't have to be true. People are saying maybe the actual cast and crew, maybe they're trolling. They know what we're looking at, so they're trying to throw us off. I mean, I guess, but ultimately, I think for something like that, I think it was just an honest mistake that he wasn't supposed to post, and it's out there. And I mean, we literally said that. I thought one of the very first things that would be spoiled or leaked in general about this movie would have been the title, because I figured at some point we would get a picture of the back of the chair, literally just like we got for the last movie. And so the fact that it took a full month to get there, that's what's the surprising thing, not necessarily that it came out, right? So it could be fake. You could argue, and we will discuss this for this character potential bad thing that could happen in a second. You could argue like they're doing it to throw us off, but at the same time, like, I don't know, you only have so much time to record, to film your movie. I don't think you'd be wasting time on creating fake titles that you're attaching to the back of, cast chairs. I don't really know why you would do something like that. Again, that's just my opinion. So either one of those, again, I think is fine. I like the idea of it being Scream. Like, you're literally excited about it. I do have a major problem with what becomes of Scream 7. I know that's me looking to the future, which I have a problem doing on this channel. But no, ultimately, if it's Scream, then Scream, and you have some like emphasis on it. Firstly, that's hard to say out loud if you're like which Scream you're talking about. Again, it's why you have to call it Scream 6. You're not going to go up to people and say, "Hey, yeah, Scream was." Well, did you emphasize Scream? Did you mean Scream 6? Well, it was actually Scream 2. Well, it gets really confusing, right? So you have that. I'm more of a fan of that, but again, I don't know what you do for 7. Do you do 3 exclamation points? Do you give it a subtitle? I really think it should have been by the way, in case you guys were wondering what I think or what I would have, done instead, I don't necessarily know if I would have a better subtitle than what they're doing, but I would have had Scream subtitle. That's it. I wouldn't have done Scream 2. Scream II is still the same thing. Scream with a little bit of a punch to the end of it is now very confused. I like the explanation points, but at the same time, now it becomes very confusing. All right. Final thing, second thing to say, I don't know, again, how much this has been talked about. Major, again, potential spoilers, so turn away for the love of God if you're not interested in them. But there was a picture posted on Instagram, I believe, last night that showed, and again, like what people are reading from it, of course, could be right or wrong. This could be a ploy that they're doing this on purpose. Again, I guess we should just talk about what happened. So it's Chad in what looks to be like a body bag, or at the very least, he's on a stretcher being injured and taken off to the ambulance. Some people think it's a body bag. I guess some people don't. So maybe it could be a death, or maybe it could be an attack. I guess it could be either or. Okay, here's the thing. And if this is true, I mean, that would obviously be massive. That would be something pretty big to have spoiled in this way. But here's where I'm kind of conflicted, right? Because obviously you have a lot of people saying, well, they know that we're watching. And also, like, why would you have Mason Gooding? Like, do you need to have him? If, like, Chad's dead, do you need to have Mason Gooding in the body bag? You know what I mean? Like, why you could have, like, a double, or not even anybody actually, like, a human being in there. So you could argue that. You could argue, would they let something like that be spotted and taken a picture of? But here's the thing. People are taking pictures. I mean, there's a lot of people in Canada right now. Not a lot. I mean, it's not like an army. But there are people there that are snapping pictures kind of left and right. And, like we saw Gail on set. I don't know if that was planned. I don't know. You know what I mean? It's like, did they do that on purpose too? Did they mean to have somebody take a picture of Courtney Cox? You know what I mean? So I agree, or I guess I don't agree. I think it's possible they could be doing it to throw people off. At the same time, I mean, people are getting pictures like daily. So it could have literally just been a part of the thing. Now, again, it doesn't have to mean he's dead. It could mean he was attacked and he's been taken off. It makes sense to kill him. I mean, we've said that before, so that's definitely something. I really don't know. It definitely makes sense to do it, but I don't know if you would let something like that leak in that way. You could argue, well, why do you have the actual actor? You could have had somebody else. If it's like a body bag, you don't need him. Do they know that people are taking pictures? And I guess to sum it all up and to finish it and to circle back to what we said earlier, this is when you only have limited time to film the movie. Again, like it's probably different. Okay, granted, it's probably different than the title on the back of the chair, right? Where you could say, well, maybe they literally are doing this to throw people off, because you could film like alternate deaths. You know what I mean? So I would say this is more likely than the chair thing to be like a plot to throw people off. Does that make sense? I think the chair, it's like, well, why would you waste your time? It probably is the real time. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. Whereas this is like, well, I could see it. I mean, I don't think you would waste your time doing something like that if it wasn't going to happen in the movie. So like if Chad doesn't get majorly injured or killed in the movie, I would be shocked, because it's like, well, did they film that to not use it? But at the same time, I mean, it is Scream, and movies have done that. I mean, I think actually to TV shows. Remember, The Walking Dead actually did several takes with the Negan, lineup thing where he killed other people, specifically Maggie, right? And it's like, okay, well, they literally filmed those things to throw people off just in case. And so, that's possible. For sure it's possible. But I don't know. They only have a limited time. I mean, they literally got like one more month. So I don't know if you're wasting your time doing that. You could argue, though, is it wasting time? Because if it throws people off, if it makes people think, oh, Chad's going to die in this movie, and then it doesn't actually happen, okay, well, then it worked. Actually, it fulfilled its purpose. So let me know what you guys think. Make sure you guys are subscribed, bell icon turned on, so you guys know when all these videos go up. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all on the next one.